I decided to do this video blog because I just did not feel like typing everything out because, well, I'm lazy. I just got home from work. I really don't feel like typing in I don't know what it would look like an essay if I were to say everything, but past couple of days, I've been noticing either from work or from just comments from people that I know commenting on the phenomenon that is like geek culture, if you want to refer to it. Otakus, comic book enthusiasts, uh, video gamers. Pretty much anything like cosplayers, for example. Anybody who is into something that's considered counterculture or against the norm. Um, for example, was it? I don't know if it was the Oscars or the Academy Awards. Is it the same thing? I'm not entirely sure, but I know it was probably the Academy Awards when they had did the award for Best Picture, and they had a slight against just jab right there. Against the people who are in superhero movies. Like they were saying, it's like, oh, thank you for picking us over the schlop that is super whatever the guy said, but it was apparently offensive. I don't watch the Academy Awards, so I don't know, but it is. I saw the articles about it. And I was like, shit. Well, what the hell's wrong with comic book? Like based on actual movies, comic book movies aren't that fantastic. I mean, I personally watched the Avengers the other day, and I was like, "Oh God, this movie is not as good as everyone keeps saying it is." I mean, I was there first showing. They had an 8 o'clock showing the day before the movie was supposed to come out, and I was there with my brother. I mean, there's pictures on Facebook about it. I want to do it this year, but nah, both of us have lives, so we really can't do it. I mean, we can't call off work for that. But and by the way, when I say we both have lives, I mean we have professional lives that we can't put on hold just to watch a movie. But I'm thinking about it, and I was like, does everybody just like not look into this supposed geek counterculture and just look into disdain? I mean, Big Bang Theory, I love that show. I absolutely do. But there are times where they just make the main characters, especially the comic book store owner, like they make him feel like he's constantly depressed because people just don't really care about it. And I was like, well, I don't get it. I mean, you got A-list actors who are playing these superheroes, and they actually love it. They love playing these superheroes. They love the attention that they get. I mean, they're part of a cultural icon now. Um, and people still feel this kind of negative connotation toward it. In Big Bang Theory, they call them geeks and nerds and outcasts. And I'm sorry, but if you were to compare, and I mean these are two massively different, like polarizing opinions. I'm going to compare just two people. You got Penny, who is a failed actress, and up until I think like season 7 or 8, she worked solely as a waitress at Cheesecake Factory. She in what Southern California, was it Pasadena? That's like shit money. That's even less money than I make, and I'll make less than 25K a year. So for her to come to to treat these guys originally, I mean she makes fun of them, but she does respect them, especially over time because they're like family to her. Leonard, as a theoretical physicist, minimum makes over $85,000 a year. Sheldon, as a senior theoretical physicist, actually, I think Leonard is a experimental physicist. But anyway, Sheldon, as a senior theoretical physicist, can make up to about 135 to 140K a year. That's impressive for a comic book geek. Okay, I mean, just because you have a hobby, that should not affect who you are as a person or what you do in your professional life. I mean, I'm a video gamer. Am I an avid video gamer as I used to be? No. That's mainly because I don't have any games that I'm truly interested in. I mean, I used to play like games like Battlefield, Fallout, Skyrim. I've played them to death. But you know what? Now that I've beaten them and I've done everything else I can do in those games, I just don't want to play them anymore. That doesn't mean I no longer hate video games. I may play anywhere between 5 to 7 hours a week as opposed to 4 to 5 hours a day. Just because I slowed down on playing doesn't mean I'm not a gamer. I'm a huge comic book fan. I have a Superman tattoo right here. Actually, I'll show you that. It's a black and red Superman shield, which is the Connor Kent logo. For those of you that read the comics, that's Superboy. I'm a huge comic book fan. I love to debate comic books online. I love talking about comic books. I love reading, obviously, about comic books. I love watching comic book movies. If the comic book movie that I'm watching sucks, I love doing an MST3K on it. Mystery Science Theater 3000. I love getting my friends over for pizza, beer, and taco night, where we're literally all we eat is pizza, beer, drink beer, eat tacos, eat pizza, and just watch really bad movies and shows and make fun of it. I mean, I love doing that. I mean, it sounds like a great time to me. However, people look at that kind of culture and disdain. I mean, if you are being a productive member of society, but what I consider probably a productive member of society, and you can argue and complain about this all you want. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion as long as it's not an insult. But if you have a job and you pay your bills and you're not hurting anyone, what on earth does that give you the right to even consider that what you're doing in your free time is wrong? It's like you're a productive member of society. You pay your bills, you pay your taxes, you have a job. You do everything that you're supposed to without breaking the law or causing harm to someone else. On your free time, you do whatever you damn please as long as it doesn't hurt someone else or break the law. I'm okay with that. What you cannot do as a productive member of society is start using your status or this elitist status to just put down other people. I had a massive shitstorm in one of my comments because my dream girl is someone who sees my hobbies and sees my interests and shares those hobbies and interests. Not just because she did them just because I do them. I actually don't like that. I've dated a girl who liked my hobbies just because I liked those hobbies. She just wanted to be on top of me 24/7 and annoyed the shit out of me. Because I knew she hated it. She was just doing it because I did it. I love the fact that she was doing this for me, but all it did was create resentment between the relationship, and it's ridiculous. So to have a girlfriend, or if you're a female and you want a boyfriend to do the same thing, that's pretty good. I mean, they have their own hobbies and interests. They may be different from your own, but it's the same thing. I mean, I'm a DC guy. I love DC. I think Marvel comics are great. I prefer DC. I could have a girlfriend that's the exact opposite, that she's a Marvel girl and she's about DC, and that's okay. But at least we share a common interest. She likes comic books. I like comic books. We think a perfect date is me making dinner and watching Netflix. I mean, that's amazing. Do we go out? Sure, we can go out and go to a restaurant because I don't feel like cooking at that time, or because I really, really, really want like Japanese food because I don't know how to cook that yet. Things like that. I'm okay with things, but I'm not okay with someone telling me or someone telling somebody else that their lifestyle sucks just because they don't agree with it. I don't think it's okay for someone to say that reading comic books or reading in general, staying at home instead of going outside hiking or playing, actually you're an adult, you shouldn't be playing around outside anyway unless you're doing it for exercise. I don't think that because you want to stay home and, let's say, watch a movie or whatever, that you're considered to be childish or immature. I don't find that even remotely close to making sense to me. I mean, if you stay home and all you do is play video games and you live with your mom, you don't pay any rent, You do nothing but read comic books. All your money that goes to comic books, and you're constantly letting your bills pile up, pile up, pile up. You don't go for a job, or the job that you have sucks because you just want it because it gives you a lot of free time. You're not going to school. I mean, if you're not being a productive member of society and you're doing all of this shit, yes, you're being immature. I will flat out agree with it. Yeah, you're doing nothing with your life. You're not going to school. You're not working. I mean, yeah, you should do something. You should think about what you're doing and figure it out. But if you are, you're getting your shit together. You're making your money. You not only have hobbies, but you have the money to support those hobbies. Well, damn, enjoy. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to enjoy ourselves in a way that does not harm somebody else. Um, but if someone doesn't agree with you because they feel that you should be going drinking all the time, or you should be hitting up bars, or no, I can't think of anything else. I mean, because technically all the other free time things you can do in your free time, you can technically do as a child. So I mean, drinking, I mean, having sex with like a bunch of loose women, I mean, all those things. I mean, you can't do as a child. I mean, you shouldn't do as a child. Rather, that's a bad thing. So your free time is pretty much going to be spent enjoying yourself. So I just don't understand it. Personally, as someone who likes video games, loves reading comic books, I'm a big cinephile. I love to cook. I do it as a hobby. I don't see the point in making fun of somebody else. I mean, I love to go fishing too. I my favorite one of my favorite sports is boxing. An avid boxer in my youth. I don't see how any of those, if I were to do those as opposed to video gaming or reading a book or reading comic books or watching movies, if I didn't do that but I did everything else, I don't see how that makes me better than someone who does do that and not do everything else. I mean, I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, you've got the thing is that people, especially closed-minded, ignorant people, they have this stereotype in their mind that the people that play video games are these overweight, fat guys, virgins, live with their mom, don't do anything. You know, they're spending all day on WoW. I mean, yeah, they exist because to every stereotype there is some truth. That is the minute minority, but that's not everyone. Look at me. I own my own car. I pay my own bills. I have an excellent job. It's a starting position in my job, and I'm making 25K. I'm turning 26 tomorrow. There are people that are, a year younger or 4 years older than me that they're baggers at ShopRite. They have no drive, no ambition. They don't want to do anything else. So there are people that are doing worse than me. Do I feel bad for those people? Not really, because you know what? They'll catch their stride. Do I condone or do I condemn those people? God, no. Why would I? Unless they did something bad to me, and then yeah, of course. But if I don't know a person, why am I going to go out of my way to just treat them like shit? I don't know. The point I'm trying to make, if anything, is just because you find it childish for you doesn't mean that's childish for everyone. I mean, everybody's got their own thing. I mean, there's people out there with some crazy ass fetishes. I don't care. We'll teach their own. But if you're going to go out of your way to make somebody else feel bad or attempt to make somebody else feel bad just because you don't agree with their lifestyle, I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with you. Maybe you're not happy with your lifestyle. So that's why you're trying to convince everyone that yours is better. I mean, my lifestyle isn't better. Trust me, if I could live like any one of my comic book characters that I've seen, it'd be Tony Stark or Batman. Not because, Tony Stark's got that awesome Iron Man suit or Batman knows martial arts and stuff. No, because they're fucking billionaires, man. I'll never need to want for anything in my life ever again. Because if I had that money, man, I'd buy every single member of my family a mansion. My mansion would have secret passages because that's cool. I want to go from the fifth story of my mansion to my basement using a power pole because that would be amazing. Or slide, definitely slide, water slide if it's from my shower. But yeah, I mean, I don't get it. How about the next time you decide that you want to make fun of somebody else's lifestyle choices, you take a deep, hard look at yourself and think, you know what? They're not hurting anyone. What they're trying to do is not to detriment my personal life. Um, if their success hinders mine in any way, I mean, if the answer is no to all that, why? Why even bother? Why waste the energy? I don't get it. Yeah, it's probably a rant. Go on YouTube or whatever, get like a billion comments saying you suck. But again, just think about it the next time you decide to piss off somebody or attempt to piss off somebody or try to make yourself superior. No. If you need to make fun of somebody else's lifestyle choice to make you feel better, that person that you're trying to make feel like shit already has won the war. You may have thought you won the battle, but they already won the war. This is Chris Soto, Man of Steel, signing off.